Greetings. My name is Candace Chambers, and I am the CEO of Education Writing Services, LLC, and this is Ask Candace C. Okay, so today we have a question from Jill, and she wants to know how to start her first book, which is very exciting to me. So here's her question. Hi Candace, my name is Jill, and I want to write my first book. I have a story to tell, but I do not know how to tell my story. Can you please assist me in starting the writing process, because that is where I am stuck. I have severe writer's block. How can I overcome this so I can be able to get my story out to the people that need to hear it? Thank you so much. Thank you, Jill, for writing in to Ask Candace C. So we'll go ahead and get started. So with any book or any writing project that you're about to start, you want to make sure that you know who your speaker is, which is you, but we'll talk about that. So the speaker, the audience, and then the message. So we'll go in order. So first is the speaker, okay? Who are you as the writer? So how are you coming to your audience? Are you coming as an educator, an informer, an entertainer? What position are you taking for your audience as far as your identity? Are you someone who has experience what you're talking about in your book? Are you someone who's giving more advice to someone, to your intended audience? Are you someone who is an expert in a certain field? Those are different ways that you need to think of yourself as a speaker, because that's going to inform how you tell the story based on your perspective. So in my book, Write Your Way to a Successful Scholarship Essay, as the speaker, I was a person who was a college student, who was a high school student, who needed, assistance with writing her essays for college, and I learned different techniques. So as the speaker, I was resonating with my audience, my intended audience, because I was once in their shoes. And so that's how I frame my book as a speaker. So you want to think about yourself as the speaker. Who are you as a speaker? Next is your intended audience, okay? This is extremely important as well, because you have to know who you're writing to or who you're writing for. So are you writing for people in a certain age bracket, 18 to 25, or a more seasoned audience of like 40 to 75, 40 to 65? Are you writing to people who need advice in a certain area? That's a particular audience. Are you writing to people who might need advice? Maybe women, men, non-binary. Are you writing to people who enjoy farming, who enjoy animals, who enjoy fishing, different hobbies that they might enjoy? Are you writing to inform? But that's more so with the message, but I'll get to that in a second. But are you writing to inform a certain audience? So are you writing to, like in my book, I was writing to inform my audience of different high school and college students, but I knew who I was targeting with my book. So you want to know who is your target audience, because that's going to frame how you write the book. And also it's going to frame how long your book is, because a lot of kids these days, if you're writing for the younger audience, you don't want to make it too long because their attention span might be a bit more short. So, is it going to be digital or print? Some people might like digital books over print books. So that's going to depend on your audience. You wouldn't really necessarily want to make a digital book for an older audience, because they might prefer a print book. So it just depends. So you want to think about who your audience is. And then also, what is your message? That's the most important part of writing a book, is your message. Like, what do you want your reader to learn or be informed about when they finish reading your book? Okay? That's important. Even if they're not learning something, like even if you're trying to entertain them, like how are they being entertained? Even if you write a fictional book, like what experience do you want them to gain after reading your book? So you want to know, what is your message as the author? What are you trying to get across to your reader? It doesn't have to be something very life-changing. It could be just something that provides them with an escape, informs them, but you need to know what's your out, basically. What is the message that you're trying to portray for your intended audience, okay? Those are the top 3 things. In the English world, we call it the rhetorical triangle, where you have the speaker, audience, and the message. Everything revolves around that. And you want to know those 3 elements when you're about to write a book. That's the foundation of the work, honestly, before you even start writing. Now, we'll move to the writing process. With the writing process, you want to do brainstorming, and then you potentially want to do outline. So first, with the brainstorming, is brain dump everything that you think you want to say about this book or this topic on a sheet of paper, or you can do it on your laptop or even your phone. I brainstorm all the time with the notes on my phone. brainstorm, get it all out, at least preliminary, like like in the beginning, just get everything you think you have in you out. Doesn't matter the order or anything, just put thoughts on the page. Then you want to create an outline. So with the outline, it's more so like, how are you going to structure your book? So like, you can have introduction, then you can have like chapter 1 will be this, chapter 2 will be that, chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but you have a plan. And then lastly, you have your conclusion, or whatever you want to include at the end, or you want to have some attachments, things of that nature. With the groundwork of knowing the rhetorical situation in which you're writing your book and doing an outline, that provides the groundwork or the foundation for your book. Last tip I would give is you want to set a time to write. Point blank, period. Like, there's nothing else you can do but write at this point. Do not be afraid of the writing process. Like, you are literally taking the thoughts out of your head and putting it on the page. That's it. It's literally a transfer out here onto the page, laptop, whatever you want to call it, but you're literally transferring. It sounds very easy. I know you're like, Candace, you're an English teacher. I understand that. But at the same time, I think we put too much fear in that process. So try to take what's in your head and put it on the page. Do not, put too much emphasis on if it sounds okay, if the grammar is okay, if the sentences are structured correctly. That's not the point in the beginning. And that's what she wants to know how to start. I have to do another video on how to continue the process. But as far as the writing is concerned, you want to just start. You need to just have a brain dump on a sheet of paper. Even with your outline, each section, just put thoughts there, all right? And that's how you can start the process of writing your book. A lot of people sit on good books, and it's a lot of books that should have been written a long time ago, and even now. People are passing away. People's experiences need to be heard, and if more people could just write about their own or collect the stories of like their grandparents and their aunts and uncles, we'll have some really good, rich history in the written form for people to read for generations to come. So thank you for writing in. If you have any questions for me, you can contact me at edwritingservice.org. You can fill out a contact form and just title it Ask Candace C, and I'll be glad to answer your question. So thank you.